So once again, I have to apologize in advance for not having any dick jokes. I do have hole number one, however, so I hope that means something. So I didn't find out until it was too late that it's not a good idea to do a Laurel and Hardy routine while you're trying to have sex. Who's on first? Who's on first? And I wasn't getting any further. I really hate going to the doctor, but mostly that's because it takes 100 years to go and see one, and then you only get 5 minutes, right? So last time I was there, I'm pretty sure I was in the waiting room for about 30 years. The guy next to me died, and the skeleton in the back was not one of those models. So I went up to the nurse and I was like, hey, I've been here since the Mesozoic era. What's the deal? And she goes, it's a waiting room. So I said, okay, if we called this the yoga room, would we all be doing downward dog? Or hey, maybe if we called this the orgy room, would we all be having sex? And she said, we're going to call this 8th grade and we're going to pants you. So I pulled up my pants and went back and sat next to the dead guy. I've never been very popular. I was pantsed in the 8th grade, in the 9th grade, and most of college. So I am popular with one person and one person only, and that would be my 5-year-old niece. She doesn't know better yet. She calls me her BFF. I'm her BFF except when I'm not. I'm not her BFF when I'm not playing dress up. I'm not her BFF when I'm not running around with a lampshade on my head. I am not her BFF when I don't give her any vodka. So I'm not her BFF. I was last week. We went into the Build-A-Bear workshop, which is a strange and frightening place. There's all kinds of things in there. There's bears and giraffes and like My Little Pony. And they have better clothes in there than I've ever had in my entire life. All for bears. And my niece was running around in there and she was all excited until she was horrified. I said, what's wrong? And she points to this giant pile of underwear for the bears. It was, at least according to the sales clerk, it was washed. But my niece was horrified by this, and I told her, hey, even bears have to wear underwear. And she looked me dead in the eye and was like, my bear's going commando. That's my BFF. I played SpongeBob with her, where I was SpongeBob, and she was my niece. SpongeBob has a snail named Gary, and she kept telling me, hey, SpongeBob, Gary keeps running away, so we have to go and get him. So we had to run all over the house to find this snail, and I said, hey, isn't it funny? He's a snail. She didn't find that funny either. But she got very serious and said, in order to keep Gary in his place, we have to put him in a cage and lock him up. I said, we could just have escargot. So she wasn't having that. I don't know if you've ever gotten this look from a 5-year-old or anybody, but I call it Elvis. And she goes, no, Abby, we're not having escargot. And then she pantsed me. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.